Hello, everyone from home. This is Austin from Commonbondyoga. I'm going to be sharing a nice little mindful flow with you all today. We're doing our best from here at Common to share classes with you all. If you could support us in any way, we'd really appreciate it. You can go to patreon.com/commonbondyoga. That would be great. But really, we're going to be in this class working out a lot with lower back and some hip stuff as well. So hopefully you all are ready for that. And really just getting connected with our body and kind of trying to just get away from thinking about a little bit about what's going on in life and kind of just be with our body and our breath for a little bit. So we're going to start laying down on our backs today in a corpse pose, just finding yourselves nice and comfortable, maybe using any blankets or pillows to make yourself as comfortable as possible in the body. Allowing the eyes to close there. And really the purpose of this class is really to start to connect more with what's going on here in this present moment. Sometimes you get a little stuck about what's happening in the future, what's happening in the past, what we need to do today, what's our checklist, and really kind of just setting that all to the side and just focus on what's going on your mat. And to do that, maybe you just start to tune in with the body, what's happening with physical sensations. Maybe you do a body scan, just quick and short and sweet. Notice all the points of contact of your body against the mat, starting from all the way up at the crown of the head and slowly working your way all the way down to the toes. See if you notice anything in the body as you work your way down. Whether you notice some tightness in any parts of the body. Since we're going to be working with the hips and lower back, notice if there's any points of tension there. And just take a couple more moments just to explore sensation. Also having the option to turn into sensation that's happening around the room where you're at, any background noise going on around you. And starting to move more towards the breath, first directing all the focus to the belly, not changing anything about your breath just yet, just start to notice how the breath moves the stomach, that small rise and fall as you breathe in and out. Maybe you notice some expansion happening in the chest as you breathe. How much are you able to fill up the lungs here with your breath? And on your next inhale, maybe allow a little bit more oxygen to enter the belly, feeling a deeper expanse outwards, filling up a little bit more in the lungs. Allowing for a deeper, more relaxing exhale. And just repeating that process a couple of times, taking a deep inhale, try to fill up as much as you can in the belly, maybe a little bit into the chest. Maybe take an extra sip of air at the top of your inhale, and then exhale to release out. And take 5 more breaths just like that, maybe make each one a little larger than the last. Really pay attention to that movement in the body as you breathe, how it changes sensation in the body with each round of breath. One more round of breath here before we start to move a bit around on our mats. And first, just starting to bring some slight movements into the body, wiggling the toes, maybe wiggling the fingers. Just notice what it feels like to move. there's any tingling sensations in those extremities. Maybe on your next inhale, you reach the arms out above you, reaching back through the fingertips and pulling forward through the toes. Maybe the lower back lifts a little bit off the mat. Next exhale, brings the knees towards the belly, wrap the arms around the knees, curl the knees in towards the stomach. Still allow the eyes to rest. Maybe you rock side to side, massage the lower spine a little bit. When you're ready, starting to set the feet back into the mat, about hip distance apart. Open up the arms beside you into a T position. The palms can face up or face down. Doesn't matter which option you take. Take a deep inhale here. And then exhale, allow the knees to fall over towards the right hand side of the mat. And just connecting some movement with the breath. Inhaling, pull the knees back up to center. And exhale to lower the knees over to the left. And move with your breath here, windshield wiping the knees from side to side, waking up that lower spine a little bit with some gentle twisting. Take one more round from right to left. Start to meet with the knees back at center, feet rooted down into the mat. Next, inhale, keep the left foot planted as you pull the right knee in towards the chest, wrap the arm around that knee, curl it in towards the right hand side of the body, massaging out those internal organs. If you want a little bit more sensation here, you can straighten the left leg, reach it forward, flex that foot so the toes point towards you to lower that left hip a little closer to the mat. If you want to move a little bit into the inner hip here, you can use the right hand to carry that knee out towards the side of the mat, taking the knee to the outside of the right hand. Take a round of breath there, breathe into the hip, the thigh. And inhale, start to bring that knee back to center. Plant that left foot back into the ground. Use an exhale to set the right foot to meet the left. Next, inhale carries the left knee in towards the body, holding that knee in with the hands. Taking a round of breath here. Maybe you go for a little more sensation as you straighten the right leg out in front of you, toes flex towards you, towards the crown of your head. So lower that right hip into the mat. If you want to go into that inner thigh, use the left hand to move the knee over towards the left. Take a round of breath there. Still trying to keep those nice deep inhales and exhales going. Next, inhale carries the knee back into center. Slide that right foot back in, plant it into the ground, set the left foot down. Then start to pick up that right foot, cross that ankle on top of the left thigh, right below the knee. Press the knee away from you, creating this figure four shape in the legs. Flex that right foot. You can feel free to stay here. You want to warm up the glutes a little bit. You can press the triceps into the mat. The fingertips point towards the ceiling like robot arms, a nice 90-degree bend in the limbs, the arms. As you inhale, start to press into the left heel, lift the hips up towards the ceiling, press that right knee down towards the mat, and then exhale carries the hips back down to the ground. And just two more times, just like that. Inhale, press the left heel into the mat, rise the hips up, press even more into the triceps to lift up, and exhale to lower. One more round on this side. Inhale to lift. Really press into that left foot, the heel into the triceps to lift the hips. Press the right knee away. And then exhale brings you down. You can set the hands into the mat for a second. Notice the texture. Pick up that right foot, set it down. Maybe windshield wipe the knees from right to left, just in between sides. Then when you're ready, starting to pick up the left foot, cross that ankle up and above that right thigh, right below the knee. Start to press those triceps into the arm, point the fingers up towards the ceiling. Taking that same flow as we did on the other side. Inhale, press into the right heel, lift the hips up, press the left knee down. Even more pressure into the tricep. And exhale to lower back. And just 2 more times with your breath. Inhale to lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale to rise up your last round. And exhale, set it down. Release the hands back into the mat. Set that left foot down. Maybe that windshield wipe from side to side. Bring the knees back to center. Curl the knees back in towards the chest. Wrap the arms around the knees. Maybe cross the ankles on top of each other. And then start to roll from front to back, massaging the entire spine, starting to gain some momentum. And eventually using that momentum whenever you're ready, just roll up to seated position. You can roll over the shins or extend the legs and sweep them to the side, coming into tabletop position. Stacking shoulders above wrists, hips above knees, fingertips spread nice and wide here. Starting to come into that cat-cow flow. Inhale to release the belly, bring the gaze forward for cow. Exhale, press all your weight into your hands to arch through the spine, release the head for cat. And 3 rounds of your cat-cow flow, inhaling to come into cow. And exhale for cat. Notice how the stretch changes in each of these postures, and the shoulders, and the upper back. Finishing up your last round. And starting to meet in your neutral tabletop. Start to tuck the toes underneath you. Take a round of breath in and out. Next inhale, pulls the lower belly in. Start to press your weight into your hands, hover the knees off the mat an inch. And next exhale, carries the hips up and back. Start to straighten through the legs, coming into your first down dog of your practice, maybe of your day, of your week. Maybe you start to pedal out your legs, bending into one knee, setting the heel down, and switching from side to side a couple of times. Just take a couple more breaths. Invite some length to enter into the backs of the legs. Next, exhale, bend deeply into the knees. Look forward past the fingertips. And very slowly, as slow as you possibly can go, walk the feet towards the hands. Keep that deep bend in the knee for ragdoll. Allow the body to drape over the legs. Maybe hands can come to elbows, to shoulders. Just allow your torso to pull forward. Allowing phones to go off in the background. Take a round of breath there. Stop the phone. Allow the lower back to lengthen here in this posture as it decompresses the spine. Feel free to sway side to side. Start to release the hands down to the feet or dangling in the air. Start to bring your weight towards the heels. Soften into the knees. Next inhale, slowly roll up vertebra by vertebra. Take that nice slow journey to the top of your mat. Maybe a shoulder roll when you reach the top. Inhale the shoulders all the way up to the ears. Exhale, roll them down and back. Close the eyes. Pull the shoulder blades together. Open up the arms, palms face forward. Root down into the feet. Press into the heels and the balls of the feet, almost like you're trying to scrunch the mat up underneath your toes. Take 3 loud breaths here. Deep inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Deep inhale. Relaxing exhale. One more just like that. Inhale. Exhale, release. Inhale, reach the arms up towards the ceiling. Bring the gaze up towards the fingertips. Blink the eyes open if they're not already. Exhale, soften into the knees. Start to hinge forward, fold towards the mat for first standing forward fold. Maybe legs are completely straight. Maybe a soft bend in the knees here. Next inhale, start to lift up halfway, pressing the hands right underneath the knees into the shins to reach the crown of the head forward. Lower belly pulls in as well. Gazes towards the mat. Hold here for a round of breath in, a breath out. Another deep inhale. And next exhale, soften back into the knees, come back into that fold. Take that again, inhale, come back into your halfway lift. Really pressing into the shins to pull the crown of the head forward. And exhale to release. Bend deeply into the knees. Start to step the right foot back. Drop the knee down, untuck the toes. Make sure the left knee is stacking right above that ankle. And start to rise up. Bring the hands to the thigh, just pressing the thigh away to open up through the chest. Breathing into the hip flexor, trying to pull the left hip back, right hip forward to square the hips off. One more breath here. Next, exhale, start to carry the torso forward. Bring the hands back into the mat. Root down through that right hand. Inhale, start to lift the left arm up towards the ceiling. Maybe bring the gaze up towards the fingertips. You can also rest that hand onto the thigh and press the hand into that thigh to twist the body over towards the side wall. Take a round of breath here. If that arm is lifted or wherever it's at, next exhale, carry that hand back down to the ground. Tuck the right toes, lift the back knee, step the left foot back, carry the hips up and back, meeting in down dog for a breath. Feel free to pedal out the legs. Inhale, slowly start to roll the torso forward, shoulders stack above wrist for your high plank. Drop to the knees, untuck the toes, squeeze the elbows towards the rib cage. Inhale, carries the shoulders slightly past the wrist. And exhale, squeeze elbows in towards the midline as you lower chest and belly down. Rest the forehead on the mat just for a breath. Start to bring the gaze forward as you walk the fingertips all the way towards the top of your mat. Come onto the fingertips. Inhale, press into the fingertips to lift the chest slightly off the mat. Gaze is slightly down, trying to find a length through the crown of the head, through the neck, all the way down the spine. Maybe on your next inhale, you start to press the tops of the feet into the mat. The kneecaps will lift off the ground. Take an inhale here. And exhale to release back down. Staying on the fingertips, just pausing for a round of breath. Next, inhale, press back into the fingertips. Lift the heart up. Lift the arms. Press the tops of the feet into the mat. Lift the kneecaps. Maybe next, inhale, the legs start to hover off the mat, pulling the toes towards the back wall, back of the room. Hold here for a round of breath. Next, exhale carries you back down. Pause here. Start to bring the hands back underneath the chest. Squeeze elbows in towards the rib cage. Start to tuck the toes underneath you. Lift the hips off the mat. Squeeze even more towards the midline. Press into the hands on your next inhale to lift up through tabletop. And exhale, set the hips to the heels for a child's pose for a round of breath. Where is your breath in this moment? Where might your mind be wandering in this moment? If you got sidetracked by what you need to do this evening in your day, coming back to the breath, to the body. Next inhale, slowly start to come back up to your tabletop. Tuck the toes. Next, inhale, lower belly in, press into the hands, hover the knees, and then exhale, carry the hips up and back from there. Down dog, pause. Next, exhale, bend into the knees, look forward. Gently walk the feet towards the hands, standing forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, melt back down. Inhale, halfway lift again. Once again, press into the shins, reach the crown of the head forward. Find length through the spine. And exhale to release. Bend into the knees, plant the hands. Left foot will step back this time. Drop the back knee, untuck the toes. Right knee stacked above ankle. Slowly start to rise. Just bring the hands to that front thigh. Pressing the palms into the thigh to reach the chest up. Pulling the right hip back, left hip forward. Round of breath here. Next, exhale carries you back down to the mat. Root the hands back into the ground, framing that foot. Bring that weight into the left hand. Next inhale reaches the right arm up towards the ceiling. Or that palm to right thigh. Take an inhale. Maybe exhale, pulls you a little bit further into your twist. Breathe here. Inhale. Exhale, carries that hand back down to the mat. Tuck the left toes, lift the back knee. Step the right foot back. Lift the hips up and back, down dog. 4 breaths. Inhale carries you forward back into that high plank. Drop to the knees. Pause here. Inhale, shoulders slightly past wrists. Exhale, squeeze the elbows in towards the ribcage, lower chest and belly down to the mat. Reach the arms forward. Come on to those fingertips. Inhale, press into the fingertips. Lift the heart up. Pull the crown of the head forward. Next, inhale, press tops of the feet into the mat to lift the kneecaps. Then maybe the legs start to hover off the mat. Maybe another inhale, you press even more into the fingertips. Lift the heart even further off the mat. Hold for a round of breath. Next, exhale lowers you back down. Pause here. Start to bring the hands back underneath the chest. Elbows squeezing in towards the midline. Tuck the toes. Inhale, start to lift the hips off the mat. Press the hands into the ground, lift up to tabletop. And exhale to find child's pose. Hold here for 5 breaths. Notice where your mind takes you in this moment. In these moments of stillness where we tend to drift off the most in our mental world. Next, inhale carries you back up to tabletop. Once again, taking that transition to down dog, tuck the toes, inhale, press into the hands, hover the knees, and then exhale, lift up and back. And breathe. Next, exhale, bend into the knees, look forward. Slowly walk the feet towards the top of the mat. Inhale for that halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Weight into heels. Inhale, sweep the arms out. Lower belly in and rise them all the way up towards the sky. Palms touch. And exhale, draw the hands down through heart center. Inhale, sweep back up. Exhale, soften into the knees, hinge forward. Try to keep that flat spine all the way down to the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release. Start to bend deeply into the knees. Bring the palms to the thighs. Take an inhale. Exhale, drop the hips even lower, coming into a supported chair pose. Inhale, press the palms into the thighs to reach the chest forward. Exhale, lower the hips down even lower. And we'll hold here for 5 breaths. Notice how sensation changes in the legs as we hold. Start to build some heat in the legs. Trying to find more weight in the heels than the toes. Should be able to wiggle the toes around here. Maybe start to bring the hands to prayer. Inhale to pull the chest towards the hands. Hold here for a round of breath. Inhale. And exhale, start to dive back into your standing forward fold. Maybe pedal the legs out, shake it out a little bit. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release. Bend into the knees, plant the hands, step both feet back. Lift the hips up and back, meet in down dog. 3 breaths here. Inhale to come forward to your plank. Exhale, set the knees down, come into tabletop. Take an inhale. Exhale, set hips to heels, find child's pose. Allow the body to relax here. Notice what comes up in these moments of stillness. Two more breaths. Start to walk the hands towards the knees. Inhale, press into the hands, lift the chest up, set the hips towards the heels, rising up to hero's pose. Drop the hips to the side. Swing the legs forward out in front of you. Maybe pedal off the legs. Several options here for this deeper twist. Start to pick up the right foot. Plant it in line with the left knee. Flex the left foot. You can stay here for your twist. Your hips are a little tight. If you want a little bit more sensation, you can pick that foot up. Take the right foot to the outside of the left knee. Once again, you can stay here, see where the hips are at. You can also start to pull that left heel towards the glutes, towards the outside of the right hip. You notice you start to tip over towards the left. Just keep that leg straight out in front of you. Wrap the arms around the knees at first. Inhale to reach up through the crown of the head. Find length through the spine. Take an exhale out here. Keep the left hand where it's at. Inhale to lift the right arm up towards the ceiling. Exhale, start to bring it out behind you, twisting over towards the right hand side. Maybe hooking that left arm a little bit more around that right knee. Next, inhale, reach the crown of the head even further up. Maybe exhale, twist you a little bit more. Holding here for 5 rounds of breath. If you want a little bit more in your twist, you can take that back tricep of the left arm and press it into the back of the right knee to twist you further into your posture. Also feel free to close the eyes here. Next inhale, slowly start to rotate the chest back to center. Bring that right arm back around, hugging that right leg. Slowly start to extend that left leg forward if you brought it back behind you. Inhale to pick that right foot up, extend it forward. Bring the soles of the feet to touch. Knees fall out towards the side, Baddha Konasana, butterfly pose. Once again, use that inhale, find that length in the spine. You exhale, you tip forward just a little bit. No need to go too far here. We'll come back. Just giving the hips some time to warm up. To release after that tight twist posture. Inhale, start to rise back up. Bring the hands to the knees, close them together, set the feet into the mat, and slide them forward. Switching that twist to the opposite side. Plant that left foot in line with that right knee. Hug the arms around the shin, the knee. Inhale, pick that foot up. If you wish to continue on, take it to the outside of that right knee. You also have the option to pull that right heel all the way out towards the outer left hip. Still with those arms hugging around the shins. Inhale, lift up through the crown of the head. Pull the belly of the chest towards the legs. Take a round of breath here. Keeping that right arm exactly where it's at. Inhale that left arm up towards the ceiling. And then exhale, start to open the chest towards the left-hand side. Bring that hand down as a kickstand. Wrap the right arm a little bit tighter around that leg. Use that breath to find length. Inhale to reach up. And exhale to twist. Holding here. Once again, you have that option to deepen the stretch by taking the back of that right tricep and pushing it into the left knee to open the chest even more. What's most important here is you're using that inhale to find length through the spine so you're not slouching down. Two more breaths here. Slowly start to come out of the posture, rotate the chest back to center, wrap those arms back around that left knee. Start to slide that right leg forward, pick up that left foot, set it back down, extend it out. Coming back into that butterfly pose, drawing the feet towards you, soles of the feet touch, knees fall out. Soles of the feet should reach up towards the ceiling like an open book. Inhale, reach the crown of the head up, and then exhale. Try to keep that length as you fall forward towards the legs. Maybe drop the head down. Allowing some opening to occur in the hips, in the thighs with each exhale. Maybe each exhale allows a little bit more room, some space in the legs. Pause here for 2 more breaths. Next inhale, slowly start to carry yourself up. Bring the hands to the knees. Close that book, bring the knees together. Plant the soles of the feet into the mat. Start to reach the arms forward, palms face up. Inhale, reach through the crown of the head, find length through the spine. Keep that length down as you pull the lower belly in, and exhale, lower spine down to the mat. When you reach the bottom, pulling those knees back in towards the belly. Rocking side to side. Start to set the feet into the mat, preparing for supine pigeon pose. Just like we did at the beginning of our practice, pick up that right foot, cross that ankle on top of the left thigh, make that figure 4, press that right knee away from you. There's no need to go any farther than this. If you want, you can keep this configuration in the legs, that knee pressing forward the entire time. As you pull the thighs towards you, maybe wrapping the arms in between that gap in the legs and reaching onto the back of that left thigh and using that to pull the legs closer in towards the belly, feeling a deeper stretch in the hip. Feet are flexed here to help protect the knees. You can also keep the left hand on that back of the thigh and take that right hand to the right knee and press that knee away. Finding that opposing action of that thigh pulling towards you and that knee pulling away from you. 3 more breaths here. Next exhale carries the legs back down to the ground. Feel that left foot plant back into the mat. Set the right foot down. Next, inhale, pulls that left foot up, crosses it over, find that figure 4 shape in the legs. Press that left knee away. So again, feel free to stay here, or maybe take that configuration in the legs towards the belly as you pull the thighs towards you. Feet are flexing, maybe reaching the arms through the gap to grab onto that right thigh and pull it closer towards you. You can also keep that right hand on that thigh, take the left hand to the left knee and press that knee away. See how that changes the posture, how you might find some more sensation with that Chinese adjustment of pressing that knee away. 4 breaths here. Next, exhale, carry the legs down. Set the left foot down. Maybe windshield wiper the legs from side to side. Reset the hips. Starting to meet back in corpse pose, ending the same way we begun. Sweeping the legs forward, extend the arms out towards the side, palms can face up or down. Maybe you walk the shoulder blades a little bit more towards each other. Take a moment for that quick body scan from the crown of the head down to the toes. Notice if anything has changed from beginning to end. Feel your weight sinking into the mat. Notice that movement in the belly as you breathe. Starting to come to Shavasana, that final resting state on your mat. Take a deep breath in through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Release that breath. Allow it flow in and out of you at its own pace. Allow the eyes to close. Unclench the jaw. Release the tongue away from the roof of the mouth. Maybe the lips slightly part. I encourage you to stay here for as long as you possibly can. If you can stay 5 minutes at most, that is wonderful. Just try to be with this stillness. Be curious of what comes up as you stay here on your mat. Thanking you for joining me for this practice. The light within me honors and respects the light within you. Namaste. Thank you for joining me, and I hope you have a great rest of your day wherever you're at.